Dear port lover, this is a video to share with you what's going on with the 2022 vintage port. This is a port that is still aging in our winery, in our cellar. It's aging in stainless steel tank. We don't like to age our vintage port in oak casks. It's typically marketing conversation, tasting notes at least, that vintage port is aged in oak cask. I believe it's my feeling from talking with other winemakers and visiting cellars and so on that not that many winemakers nowadays actually mature their vintage port in oak casks. It was used before as the cask was a transport device for the vintage port, but nowadays you want to preserve the vintage port very immaculate in terms of that freshness, that primary fruit. So it's my feeling. We don't. My sister Claudia, who's the important person in all this port production, she doesn't like to do it either. So we keep our port in stainless steel tank until bottling, and that's where it is right now. 2022 was a challenging year. It was very challenging. We had some rain during the harvest in the middle of September, and I can't resist to tell you a story, a family story that happened, an episode that happened during this. So we started picking the grapes around the 20th of August for our white wine production, and for the vintage port we start producing it in the second week of September. What we expect to be port that we could qualify for vintage port. And at some point around the 23rd, 24th of September, the weather forecast was suggesting a lot of rain, like intense heavy rains for a few days. And I mean, everyone gets very nervous when it starts raining during the harvest. It's the moment to collect the grapes. You want them away from any humidity, any water on the skin. The water from the rain would probably dilute the flavors, and so we had to take a decision. Shall we rush to pick up the grapes as fast as possible, or shall we wait and let the rain pass, as there's always a storm and the storm always goes away? So in the family we're kind of debating this, and my voice is the least of the three of us, my father, my sister, and me, the least experienced, was saying that we should rush to pick the grapes as soon as possible. So at least we would preserve part of our production, and we could have increased the chances of making a vintage port. But that actually was not the opinion of my father and my sister. They thought that the rain at this moment would actually help to improve a lot the quality, if it was not followed by more rain and high humidity, just less lack of wind. So ideally you have, for the grapes production, you have a heavy rain, but then at some point the rain is gonna also disappear, and there's gonna be wind to dry out the grapes and the leaves and all that. So we were kind of debating, shall we do what, shall we do that, shall we do this, shall we do that? And my father and my sister were supporting the opinion that the rain would help the vine to finish the ripeness. We could taste the grapes, and they were actually, the seeds were still a little bit green. There was some green edge in the grapes, but you had to pick. You cannot just leave 102 hectares unattended and expect for the ripeness to finish at some point. So we start picking the grapes before the rain, and then the decision was, shall we pick everything as fast as possible before the rain, or shall we wait then a full week or maybe 10 days after the rain to pick up the grapes? And I was supporting, let's pick as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And my father and my sister, they decided to wait, and that's what the family decision. So we wait for the rain to pass. We wait for the good weather to come back, for the leaves and for the bunches to dry out. And guess what happened? That rain was incorporated into the vine, and the vine get the energy and and the possibility to finish the ripeness of the grape berries. We get the tannins much more soft, but very intense and concentrated. So no longer on the green side, but more on the ripe side. And we produce a port that has much more body and more expression of fruit and other flavors. It was a huge lesson to me. I was not expecting to make vintage port in October after a lot of rain, but the experience of my father, who's now 75, and my sister, who already has a few decades of vintages, helped to make this port. So it's definitely something very special. It's a vintage port from a late harvest that I really hope that you enjoy. This was a long explanation, and if it was confusing, let me know. I'll be happy to clear it out. Looking forward to see you soon. Take care. Bye.